Aloha! You're listening to the Travellers Ukulele Gig Guide podcast, where we talk to people about travel and ukulele. I'm your host, Shirley Ann. Welcome. Travellers, today we head to Queensland, where I found a lovely group of uke-playing friends sipping wine under some big trees in the middle of a caravan park in the middle of nowhere. I'm referring to Julie, Mike and Lorrie, mates from Mackay, and specifically the Mackay Ukulele Group. MUGS is their acronym. That's not the only group these people play in either. So sit back and enjoy another travelling uke yarn, where all about this mob will be revealed. It's Shirley Ann from the Travellers Ukulele Gig Guide podcast, the podcast where we talk to travellers playing ukulele. I am in a beautiful setting, and imagine this, close your eyes as I tell you where I am. The sun is setting, we're sitting underneath the big, what trees are these? Gum trees. I'm under a partial awning from the left, got dogs, mats, wine, and look here, I've got a box of Lindor chocolates in front of me because very graciously a group of people have offered to talk to us about their ukulele experience. Hello, people.
Hello.
Now, folks, I'm here and I'd like to just go quickly around the circle. Could you kind people introduce yourselves, please?
I'm Julie Williams from the Mackay Ukulele Group, also part of the Rebels uke band.
Woohoo!
Same. I'm Lorrie from Mackay and from MUGS and from the Rebel band.
Yep, and again, Mike from Mackay, member of the MUGS for, about 9 years, something. And then we recently started Rebels.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, well, I'm going to start. Normally we like to touch in a little bit about each of you as individuals. So could we go around the table, take a sip of our wine? Cheers. Cheers to you. Cheers. Here's to people travelling in ukulele. You never know what you're going to get, travellers. So, Jules, Lorrie and Mike, what's your background in music?
I started playing piano or organ in those days when I was 6 years old.
Oh.
So I've played that all my life, and then I started playing guitar, and then I was introduced to the ukulele, and since then I've picked up different percussions, played the spoons, the harmonica, the washboard, panpipes, but we don't use them.
Okay,
Yes.
all right. So you've had a varied instrumental background in music.
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. What about you, Lorrie?
I learnt the piano for 4.5 years in primary school. Did a lot of singing in primary school and high school.
Yeah, you're a good singer.
And then I learnt the guitar for a little while. Then I started on the banjo, played that for a couple of years. Then, I think it was ukulele then. Is that all? Feels like I've done more, but anyway. Now
Have you been in bands or you?
Oh, yeah. I did African drums for 18 years.
Wow,
Yes.
fantastic.
The djembe. So I played in another band in Mackay called Manitas. And Zinzibar, actually.
Okay.
Yes, I did that for quite a while.
Okay.
Actually, went to Ghana too. Had a month in Ghana. That was pretty good.
In Africa?
Yeah, dancing and singing and drumming.
Wow, when was that?
Ooh, probably about 10 years ago, I'd say.
Fantastic. Yeah. And Mike, what about you? Have you been to Ghana, buddy?
No, I haven't lived in Ghana, but I did live in PNG for a few years.
Well, that's getting up there. That's out of the country. That's
warm.
overseas.
It's getting warm, isn't it?
What's your background with music?
Absolutely no musical instrument background whatsoever.
Love it.
But I loved music. I'm of the era when the Mersey beat
Oh, yes.
was all the rage. The
Yes.
Beatles and all
Yes.
the Liverpool groups.
Yes.
So I grew up with those in England and came out to Australia in 72. My wife was very sick, and so I was home a lot looking after her and looking for something to do. And the fact I've lost the end of one of my fingers, steel strings on a guitar, wasn't an option.
Oh.
So I thought, well, 4 strings is good. So I bought a ukulele and all the YouTube channels, you can learn so much now, and absolutely fell in love with it. And talking about Lorrie, I went for an acupuncture treatment off Lorrie one day, and got talking about what we did, and I was playing ukulele then, and after the treatment we walked up to the local music shop and
bought
bought the first ukulele for Lorrie.
That's how I did it. And then, because the meeting was on that night, so I went to that and told Julie about it, and then Julie came.
Now, travellers, I just want to chime in here. That is a story and a half. Isn't ukulele taking over the world? Because you just got to share it with your friends, don't you?
Exactly.
But you know, the funny thing is, I had been to a Mike Jackson
Oh, yeah.
ukulele workshop
Michael Jackson, yep.
2 years prior, and I'd bought a little soprano.
Yeah.
I'd played it once and threw it on top of the wardrobe for a couple of years until Lorrie come and said, "You got to come and play the ukulele," and I went, "Oh no, I don't think so." It just didn't work for me. But I went along anyway, and I walked in and there was this guy there with the ukulele. He had a tenor, and he said, "That's too small for you, play this." And he handed me his tenor, and I fell in love with it that day on the spot. That was a Thursday. That Saturday we actually had to play at the Food and Wine Festival in Mackay. And I said, "Please, can I stand in the back row?" And he said, "No, you know enough chords, you can stand at the front." And but so we did. But apart from that, I loved his ukulele so much. I took the specifications and had one made exactly like his. It was an expensive ukulele, but it was what made me fall in love with it. It was the sound.
Yes, that's exactly right. Lorrie, what instrument do you play? What?
I have a concert. Oh, I have four ukuleles. I have a banjolele.
Yes.
And I have a resonator, and I have a Enya, one of the little plastic ones, and I have one that I won last year at the Sunshine Coast
Jammy bugger.
Ukulele Festival, $900 worth, which was pretty good.
Yeah, fantastic. And what's your favourite instrument to play?
I
The tenor?
swap around all the time.
That's great
Yeah.
because it gives you different sound for different
sounds.
events. If you're playing outside,
Yeah,
or if you're playing inside, or if you're playing with, by yourself and practicing something, you can do.
I do the resonator when I'm at home because I really like that one at home. But
Okay.
it doesn't. You can't plug it in. So I
Okay.
have one for carrying around, one for playing when we're doing concerts, and the banjolele. I haven't been doing much. I'm going to get back into it now.
Travellers, how many ukuleles do you have stuck in the back of your
We have a bass
caravan?
player.
Not enough,
It's
not
a
enough.
very
That
real
is a real
disease.
band.
It's called ukulele. Some of our performances, not all of them.
Oh.
And we have a lot
Quite
of
a
community
lot.
ones we do.
Ukulele acquiring syndrome.
Yeah,
We actually
come on, I'll
hold
give you a high
lessons
five
at
for
the
that.
beginning
Thank you,
of
buddy.
our classes. So when a
Ukulele
beginner comes
acquiring
along,
syndrome.
There was a lady
the first
here
half an
that
hour
has
is
over
devoted
10
to
ukuleles.
a lesson.
Oh, that's just showing
Over
off.
10.
Yeah.
When they
I had
get a little
13,
bit
but then
better,
I did sell a couple of
because I was teaching
Yeah,
for a
we-
while,
Oh.
so I'd
We
sell
change
them
our
off to my
songs.
students.
We just
Oh,
change.
yeah.
Then when I'd see
We're
another
not a
one I
big
like
group
better,
by
I'd
any means.
buy
We
it
don't
again.
have.
Yeah, that makes
You know
sense.
the rule. He who
We've got
dies
about
with
40
emotion
on the book.
wins.
But you know,
Speaking
a lot of
about the
people are
group
just there to
that
sing,
you all
stay in touch.
A good night will be close to
seven
20.
of us.
Yeah.
The reason we kept
Well,
our
Mackay Ukulele
performance
Group's been
group
going
small
for a
was
number
one of
of
the very
years.
first concerts that we
And
did was at
it
the
sort of
entertainment
stopped for a
centre
little
up
bit.
there.
Mike
And
was
it
part
just
of the
had a
original
tiny
one,
little area
and then
corner.
started
We
on the
couldn't
second
fit a lot
group.
of people in there, so we
And,
sort of
our
capped
numbers
it so
did
that
grow
we
for
could
a little
just have
while,
enough
but
to fit on
then
whatever
it split up and we
stage.
got smaller
But there's
again.
some things that we
we've sort
think,
of done
is
this
this rebel
fluctuation.
uke
We've
or
got
is
bigger,
this
we've got
mugs?
smaller,
And
we've got,
so
we have to
work
work out.
out
Like we
reasons
came
and
here
stuff.
as
Right.
mugs to this performance, but we
are
have
actually
the
four
people,
members
the
of
beginners
the
that come
Rebel
along
Youth group
regularly,
as well.
and
So the
newbies,
all the Rebel Youth
but the more
members are made up of mugs.
intermediate to
And we had
advanced
just some more
players.
senior
We were always
players
looking
that
for that
probably
something
come
more
to
than just
every
strumming.
meeting, whereas a lot
So
of them don't.
we created another band called
Yeah,
Rebel
but
Youth.
also
And
with
we actually do the
we
performances,
meet once a fortnight as
for
Rebels and once a
community
fortnight as
events.
Mugs.
We
But on the
play-
Rebel nights, fundraising, we're not just
Fundraising,
singing
whatever.
songs, we're
Old
trying
people
to
saying,
pull a song apart and make it sound better.
I think that's a
So
great
it's not
idea, and I
really
think
a
it's a
sing-along.
model that a lot of
It's more we
clubs
tryna-
take on.
We practice to perform, and so we're doing like duets, and you sing this part, I sing that part. So we really try and make things
a little bit more exciting.
more exciting for the audience. So it's not a sing-along night. So that's why, it's not a mugs night, if you know what I mean.
No, and I really agree with that. I'm in a performing act, and you want to be polished,
Yeah.
Yes.
so that you can be comfortable, and you want to showcase your art as well as the ukulele.
Yeah, definitely.
And so particularly I find if I'm getting paid, I really put a lot of time and effort into it because it's my name. It's your name on the line. It's your face, isn't it?
And we like to get invited back, as we have been. So
Yes, that's really good.
I don't think anybody said don't come back.
No, they haven't.
Not yet.
Our calendar's getting busier and busier.
Can I just ask, and speaking about performing, what sort of tools do you use when you're performing in terms of your band structure? Do you have music folders? Do you know all your songs off by heart? Do you use technology?
No,
Folders at this stage.
we use folders at this stage. Looking at introducing more the technology, but we do know some songs off by heart. But no,
Not as many as we should.
Not as many as we should. Yeah.
Do you think there is? Do you think people notice or mind when they're?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
No, we play at festivals, as in like Springfest and Winter Moon Festival, which are quite big festivals, which have a lot of professional musicians there, and we do see some of them using their folders or their cue cards or whatever. So we've never been made to feel like we can't use them, but more for us to look more polished personally. And if someone from our crowd's trying to take a photo, you don't really want the big music stand with the book stuck in front of you and all you can see is your eyes up.
Can we just come back around to MUGS? This is the Travellers Ukulele Gig Guide podcast. We have a Facebook page. One of the things we've started is a national ukulele club list, so people can connect. The idea is that you find each other and you join in. Is MUGS welcoming to travellers?
Absolutely.
I believe we are on your list.
Yes, you definitely are.
We are, and we've had a lot of
That's right.
travellers.
We've had quite a lot of people.
And they
this winter.
always return when they come back our way, and they actually always write nice stuff on our page.
Well, they come up to visit their kids, from down south. My kids are up here, so they come up for a couple of weeks, and we see them again.
Yeah.
So we get lots of returns.
And yes, they're very welcome. We do like to have visitors.
That's great. Okay, so the big news is, if people are listening, when do you meet, where do you meet, and what time do you start?
We start at 5:30. It's every second Thursday. To
Not
work
this
out
Thursday,
which
the next
to
Thursday.
work out which Thursday it is, if they actually go on our Facebook page, Mackay Ukulele Group, we have the information where we meet, which is Wellington Street in Mackay, 60 Wellington Street, and we play for about 2 hours on a Thursday night, and we follow that with a social gathering. So we don't spend the time having cups of tea or socialising. We go there, we play, we have a little bit of talk, but if you want to share your life, we do
go
that.
to the pub.
We go to the pub.
And we have
Say it as it
dinner
is.
and a
We go
meal.
to the pub
We
afterwards.
go to the pub, and they are very welcome. And we love having travellers because they bring a lot of new stuff to us.
Yeah.
They bring new music to us. They introduce different techniques. Some of them are professional musicians. They always bring something new to the table, which we also learn from.
Yeah.
I think, would you say that is important, being a small group in a regional town?
Very.
Most definitely.
Because otherwise, where does all the source of inspiration come from?
Well, you guys, when you came down and did a workshop for us, and we have a few that come around, and
It comes from you, doesn't it?
Right.
And who is there to lift up your,
Yeah.
your diversity? So it's important, I think, too, would you agree, that you get out,
Yes.
get out of your area. So where are we right now?
We're at Lake Mondurant, and just going back a couple of ticks, coming to this here and seeing how they run the sing-alongs, we've taken a lot of information.
We have.
Julie's sat down with one of the producers, and have got some really good ideas that we can take back with us and kind of make our sing-alongs for MUGS
Much better.
and more interesting.
And we've
We've learned a lot here.
We have the way to present the music, the way to make it more user-friendly for a learner, as to how to write it and present it on a screen. I've also sat down today with someone for songbook which I had already, because I'm part of ATLA, which is the Teachers Association.
Audla?
Audla. I'm saying it wrong. Yes, and I've been down to their conferences and I've picked up a lot of tips, but we weren't ready as a club to use that information because we were quite new. But we are ready now. But I had forgotten a lot of the details, so I've actually sat down with one of the fellows today, and he's been most helpful and showed me how to, use it and make it work for us as a group.
That's fantastic. Travellers, Julie's just alliterated to the fact of the Australian Ukulele Teachers and Leaders Association of Australia. The acronym is AUTLA. You can find them on Facebook. And the benefit of that group is they are specifically there as a resource to support community ukulele players, teachers, and they have a huge bank of resources, charts, and they have online professional development or workshops.
Yes. Yeah.
And so we don't have to always go overseas. We've got some very interesting and very well-skilled players who are willing to share their knowledge in a workshop online that you can access with your membership. I know that because I'm the secretary. You might think that's a paid ad, but it's not. It's just a job I do on Saturdays. So AUTLA, Travellers.
AUTLA.
Yes,
I'll
look
be
at it.
saying
AUTLA. And the acronym for Mackay Ukulele Group is
MUGS.
MUGS. That's exactly right. MUGS. Okay, now folks, I would love to know currently, individual answers, welcome. What is your favourite song to play? Everybody squiggles around uncomfortably on this. Oh, I've got 2000 song.
I like Lighthouse from the Waves. That'd be my favourite.
Beautiful. That's a great song. I love that song.
Do you know what? I'm one of the wrigglers saying I don't have a favourite song because they all suit my mood on the day, the way I present them.
So true.
But today, we played the spoof of Jolene here, Lorrie and I, and it's Nolene. It's the Aussie version.
Very awesome.
And we got a lot of laughs, a lot of catcalls, and a lot of comments on it. And it seemed to really fit the profile of the day here. And I thought, well, I'd like to play that again.
That's fantastic. Yeah.
Me? Well, okay, I reckon the Wellerman, because I got two little grandkids, two grandsons, and they come over a couple of times a week for a ukulele lesson. And we play the Wellerman and Papa Whiskey November. And they're actually playing them without looking at
Good on them. Good on them.
So we're just playing them, and they're actually playing and singing along with me, without a book.
Yeah, good.
So
very good.
that's not too bad. It's and you can see the fact that they're doing it, they walk away from it with a happy as we're doing a song.
Okay, well, correct me if I'm wrong, but for you, Mike, it's sharing the knowledge. You're sharing that on.
I've got 4 grandkids, and they're all keen, and Pop's a silly old bugger with his ukulele, but they enjoy it.
And for you, Julie, it was some crowd response.
It was making people happy.
Yeah.
Making people happy and feeling. The thing I love about a ukulele, I'm a single lady and I travel a lot, and I find with the ukulele, if I pull it out around my campfire or in my caravan park or wherever I'm staying, everyone comes to me. I don't have to go and meet people. Music brings people together, and the ukulele is a fun instrument, and it doesn't matter whether you play it well or, like I say, just because I can't sing doesn't mean to say I won't. I have a damn good go, but I'm a better player than a singer, and I recognise that. I choose the songs that suit me, but it doesn't matter because around a campfire or in a setting with multiple people, everyone's going to try and bring what they know best to the table. So music is just sharing with people.
And for you, Lorrie, Lighthouse.
Yeah.
Is it the story? Is it the Australiana?
It's Australiana, it's the ocean, and it's the waves, because I really love them.
Did you see them when they were on their recent tour?
I've probably seen, no, not just recently, but I've probably seen them about 20 times in the last few years.
Aren't they beautiful? Yeah. Fantastic.
And also, like, without the ukulele group, I wouldn't know these people, all the others.
That's right, you wouldn't.
Right.
And, we, like our little rebel group, we're all extremely good friends and get on very well together.
And we go camping a couple of times a year.
And, we go off and
It's
have our
a
camping
social
trips and
So-
take our instruments. So that's all through the uke.
Would you say you're a tribe?
Yes, we are, very much so.
Definitely. And it's not only Rebel Ute that go camping, like MUGS do too. It's just the whole
open
ukulele group.
offer.
Yes.
Fantastic.
The ukulele creates a new family because I'm not the only single person in this group. There's quite a lot of people, and yes, well, the three of us sitting at this table are actually, but it creates us, brings us all together as a family.
How wonderful. It's really healthy.
Yeah,
Very.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the fact that, like, the travellers, if we decide to take off and go travelling, then
can
I
meet
can
them.
do what they're all doing to us. Go and stay and say hello to this group and that group, and it's a good way to get around town. Or the
Fantastic.
country, I should say.
It's so good.
It keeps the grey matter working too.
Yes,
It does. It's really good. Releases a lot of positivity for others and also yourself.
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm thinking we've almost finished our group conversation for today. Do you have any bit of gold that you'd recommend to people from the far, far reaches of Adelaide who have never travelled the eastern coast of Queensland, who are heading up to Mackay? What is your travel tip, the must-see around the Mackay area for new travellers coming into your town?
Pacific Hotel at Imeo.
Oh
That's
my
what everyone
goodness.
loves it.
It would have the best views of any hotel pub on the East Coast, and it has changed almost nothing in the last 40 years. It's probably had a couple of coats of paint, but that's about it. So you can still go in with your thongs, your singlets, and you've got views that they're $1 million views. You can look up to the Whitsundays and 100 kilometres south.
Come on, travellers, that's got to be worth putting into the itinerary.
And the beer's cold and the food's good.
That's fantastic. What's the name of the place?
Is it
Imeo.
We
It's
call
the
it
Pacific
the
Hotel in
Imeo
Imeo.
pub
The Pacific
hotel, but it's still
Just call it the Imeo.
it's the Imeo pub.
Imeo pub. There you go, travellers. Stick that one in.
Friday nights underneath the pub. It's not the Imeo pub at the surf club. They have a bar that opens on a Friday night, and it is literally a metre off the beach.
Yeah.
Come on,
Super
come to
cheap place.
Queensland.
And live music.
Live music
Live
every
music,
Friday
super
night. It's all
cheap.
free.
Jules, Lorrie, do you have anything you'd like to add to that?
Look, we've got Youngler National Park. I mean, it's iconic for our region. We're right on the Barrier Reef, so we've got the ocean right on one side, and we've got rainforest and waterfalls and camping spots, jungle.
And if you're going to be up there next Sunday,
Well, we've got Springfest.
we're
on.
playing.
No, we've
Ancient
got the
Fair.
ancient. We've got
At Youngler we've got the Ancient Arts Festival the day before.
It's
we
a
have
Viking
Springfest. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're playing there, and we're playing at Springfest the day before.
yeah.
But Mackay, it's beautiful one day, perfect the next. It is a great place to live.
Fantastic.
And it's halfway down the coast, halfway from Cairns, halfway to Brisbane.
It's a beautiful place to stop. Laurie?
I love Finch Hatton. I think it's absolutely beautiful out there. It's out the Pioneer Valley. We have a beautiful river that we all go kayaking down in summer when we get lots of rain, and that's pretty special. Actually, the river itself is very special because I think it's the only blue river that stays blue in the whole of Queensland. So it's always clean. And also, a lot of people really love Cape Hillsborough, where they can get up in the morning and see all the wallabies and kangaroos on the beach,
At
which is
sunrise.
pretty special. Yeah.
And if you're there around a Thursday, every second Thursday, what can you do, folks?
Play
Ukulele!
Come and join us.
Mike, Laurie, Julie from Mackay Ukulele Group in Mackay, thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shirley.
Travellers, I hope you get some gold and some inspiration and a little bit of zhuzh in your tank. Get yourselves up to Mackay and come and find these people.
That's it.
They want to meet you. Can you believe it? This is Shirley Ann for the Travellers Ukulele Gig Guide podcast. Aloha, and thank you for listening in.
Thank you.
Yay! Goodbye! Any more wine? No. I've had enough. Thanks for listening, travellers. Don't forget to subscribe, follow or click notifications on your preferred platform so you don't miss a yarn. We're posting a new episode every Wednesday morning because it's a great hump day, pick-me-up kind of a podcast. Thanks for listening. This is Shirley Ann. Aloha.